Hi everyone, welcome to my WJEC Exam Solutions channel. This particular channel is for mathematics exams only, and I will endeavor to cover as many past papers as possible for GCSE and A-level maths. And currently, I will only be going through higher tier GCSE papers first. For people who are sitting exams this summer 2022, I know most of you are very nervous right now because you haven't really had much time in class to study and revise because of the pandemic. The good news is WJEC has made some adaptations for the summer 2022, and some topics will not be assessed in both maths and numeracy exams. The exam format will be 70 marks and 1 hour 30 minutes for each paper instead of 80 marks and 1 hour and 45 minutes previously. As you can see here, this is the November 2021 paper, and there were adaptations already for this paper, and these adaptations will carry on in summer 2022. The following topics will not be in your maths paper in the summer, and just to remind you, we're just talking about the higher tiers only. Right, there are 10 topics that you're going to be so glad that you won't see in your summer 2022. Number one, Venn diagram. So anything to do with understanding and using Venn diagrams to solve problems, or anything to do with identifying all the outcomes of a combination of two experiments using Venn diagrams. So those sort of things would not be in your exams. Number two, quadratic N term. So like finding the N term of a sequence where the rule is quadratic. Now, remember, finding the N term of a sequence where the rule is linear is still going to be in your exams, but you're probably unlikely to see it in a higher tier, but in intermediate and foundation tier. Number three, drawing, interpretation, recognition, and sketching a graph of y equal to a over x. We say reciprocal graphs, or y equal to ax cubed, like cubic graphs, or anything to do with like y equal to k to the power x, like exponential graph. Okay, so those sort of things wouldn't be in your exams. Anything with drawing and interpreting graphs when y is given implicitly in terms of x. Number four, regions. So things like when you use straight line graphs to locate the regions and given by linear inequalities. So inequalities can still be in your exams, but not the region bit when you actually have to draw different straight line graphs. Okay. Now, number five, this particular topic, a lot of people don't like it, even it's only a grade C topic, but constructions, that's not going to be in your exam. So anything to do with constructing a perpendicular line from a point to a line, or constructing 2D shapes, or even the things like construction of triangles, quadrilaterals, and circles, or angles like 60 degrees, 30 degrees, 90 degrees, and 45 degrees. So those kind of questions won't be in your exams, okay? So you don't need compasses, you don't need a ruler and pencils for anything like this, okay? Super. Number six, loci. So you see a lot of loci questions actually in numeracy exams only. You hardly see them in mathematics, but recently they put them both in maths or numeracy paper. So loci question is things like the location determined by distance from a given point, or angle made by a given line, and things like you have to bisecting a line or bisecting a given angle. So those kind of topics will not be in your exams, okay? Both numeracies and mathematics. Number seven is congruent shapes. Okay, so congruent shapes is when you have to use a rule and understanding and using like side side side, or side angle side, or angle side angle, and we call right angle and height and size. So those kind of things, those conditions to prove the congruence of a triangle using formal arguments. Okay, so reason may be required in solution of problems involving congruent triangles as well. So those sort of thing won't be in your exams. Okay. Now the next topic will not be in your exam, and this is the most difficult topic, I would say people struggle with. Even it is not that difficult, but there's a lot of things that you have to memorize, and people tend to forget in the exams, even the higher tier kids. Okay, so circle theorems not going to be in your exams. Yay! Number nine, relative frequency. So anything to do with estimating the probability of an event as a proportion of times it has occurred, or the graphs for relative frequency, or understanding the long-term stability of relative frequency, or things like estimating probabilities based on experimental evidence, or comparing an estimated probability from experimental results with a theoretical probability. So those sort of things, again, you won't see in your exam. And last but not least, the last one is called dimension analysis. And you hardly actually see this kind of question in your exams, but sometimes, yeah, once in a while they put them in your exams. And this kind of question basically is just you have to, they're going to give you an expressions and asking you to identify is that volume, area, or just length. So those sort of thing is dimension analysis, and that won't be in your exams either. So if you click on the next video, that's when I'm going to go through the whole paper with you. I will try to put one or two questions in one video if it's less than 5 minutes. If it's not, then it will be in a separate video for each of the question. Any questions, you can just give me a comment and ask away.